Hello, my name is Merritt Laney Johnson, and I am a middle school performing arts teacher. This week at Southeastern Oklahoma University, we have been reading a lot about the Moscow Art Theater and about Stanislavski's acting methods as explained in the chapter by the great Thespis, the Greek actor often called the first great actor. Thespis acts as a muse of sorts to theater teachers. We just started school this past week, and I was very pleased to see that I could instantaneously start using the concepts used in the Brestoff book for my classroom. We used the relaxation, the tension and release exercise, as well as the concentration exercise, the one where Thespis tells a student to tie their shoe. They tie it and then they look up and he's wearing a mask. Well, I did that the first day with my students, in which I singled out one student and had them, while I was in the middle of my teaching, I just pointed to one student and said, "Your shoe's untied," and continued to teach while I put on the mask. And of course, all the other students saw it. Then when this student looked up and saw me, he kind of jumped back a little bit, which caused a lot of laughter in the ranks. I loved this exercise for two reasons. One, it helped the actor to understand that they just need to put all of their focus on what they are doing, what their character is trying to accomplish. They, for instance, weren't really concerned about how they looked while they were tying their shoe to their other students. They weren't really focused on, what do my hands look like while I'm doing this? They just did it. They just looked down, tied their shoe, and looked back up, right? The second reason I really enjoy this exercise is because it makes the students realize that whenever they are just focusing on their objective, on their stage business, on their character's inner life, but then they're also staying open to the things happening around them, that it can actually cause a visceral emotional response. Like when my student looked up, saw that I was wearing a mask that I wasn't wearing before, and it startled him and he jumped. It was a legitimate emotional response. Just being in the moment while focusing on a task, on your objective, can elicit very, very visceral responses. Later on, I know that in the modern theater, this was a big way that I was trained with Meisner, where you focus on a task and then you stay open to what's happening, because that's how people are. People don't go anywhere to just have a scene or create a scene, except for in very specific circumstances where they're actually trying to accomplish something else, and that's just one of their tactics, right? So I love that this kind of introduced the idea of objectives, obstacles, and tactics for them, while also starting to introduce them to the idea of listening and responding and paying attention to their surroundings, which is already a skill in general that middle schoolers are learning. I really look forward to framing my class lessons in a similar way to how Brestoff paints Thespis in his framing of Stanislavski's methods. And I really look forward to seeing in the future how this is going to affect my 7th and 8th graders.